Hello, I am Linda Pearl, also known as a Lady Named Pearl. I am the founder of Pearl School of Modeling and a Lady Named Pearl Leadership Academy. So today I want to talk about one of the models that was the first Black model to walk a high fashion runway in Europe. So I came across her, Miss Delores Francine Rhiney, when I was doing my research for Valentino Garavani. He recently passed, and I was doing my research, and I saw that one of his mentors, I hope I'm saying this right, Vincenzo Ferinandi, these Italian names, he was dressing a Black model, and this was in the 1950s. So of course, we know about Danielle Luna, who was on the cover of British Vogue, the first Black model on the cover of British Vogue, I believe in 1966. But then I saw this woman in the 1950s in Rome doing her thing. So her name is Delores Francine Rhiney, and she insisted on being called Bambi. Bambi was born in Kingston, Jamaica in 1929, and her family moved to Harlem, New York, where she was raised. Her father was a tailor, owned a West Indian bakery, and a restaurant. Bambi attended Washington Irving High School, but dropped out at the age of 16 to pursue modeling full time. She was signed to Branford Modeling Agency in New York, which was the first licensed agency for Black models in the United States. Opportunities were scarce for Black models at the time, so in 1952, Bambi made a bold move and she moved to Europe. She first moved to Paris, then to Italy. Valentino's mentor, Vincenzo Ferinandi, found her in Rome and chose to cast her specifically to challenge the conventions of the time. He debuted her in January of 1953 on the prestigious runway of the Sala Bianca at Palazzo Pitti in Florence. She became one of the first Black models to walk the runway in Europe. Her casting was intended to be a surprise to the fashion world. While it caused some initial friction among other designers who were not consulted on the decision, it established her as a highly sought after figure in the Italian Dolce Vita fashion scene. As I was doing my research, I found an article of her in the New York Times from 1967. Let me read a bit of the article. "Call me Bambi," said Delores Francine Rhiney, an American Negro who models in Rome. Bambi was breathless from racing up the Spanish steps with three men at her heels shouting praise of her knee socks. She was headed for the La Mendola, Rome's prettiest boutique, tucked in the corner of the piazza opposite the Hotel Hassler. Rome's high fashion and haute couture collections for spring and summer started today and go on all week. For hundreds of good-looking models like Bambi, it's a frantic, not very well-paid world. Bambi has just returned from Florence, where she modeled 10 designs in the Emilio Pucci collection. She works in the La Mendola show tomorrow. Bambi says, "Pucci calls me an African, and so does everybody else here. It sounds more exotic. Me, I could care less. I prefer Rome to any place. No one gives a damn here if you're green, purple, or Black." It wasn't fashionable to be a Negro then, she says. "When I went back to New York in 1959, I couldn't find any kind of work in the department stores, except as a wrapper or a cashier. Life in Rome is softer and more fun. Her apartment, which has two big rooms, is $80 a month. Her cleaning woman costs less than $1 an hour. I clean my makeup off with olive oil and then I wipe my skin with milk," says Bambi. "Never let a drop of Rome water touch your face. It's too hard." She has also been a singer and a dancer and an actress. "I couldn't do any of those things, but I always say sure when someone suggests something new," she said. And myself as a model, I can relate to that. I started as a model with Ebony Fashion Fair. Then I went into acting, not even seeing it in my future, but my agency in Atlanta put me on the acting side and I started acting. So I can totally relate with Bambi where she's like, I didn't think I could do those things, but I just went ahead and said a yes. Thank you for watching this Born to Shine series on Miss Bambi Delores Francine Rhiney. If you're interested in building your modeling skills, your leadership skills, be sure to visit ladynamedpearl.com and enroll in our classes at Pearl School of Modeling and a Lady Named Pearl Leadership Academy. Thank you for watching this episode. Please like, comment, and subscribe.